Anger in Amherstburg.
My son, he had his bird feeders up there. He would go out there and feed the birds every day. And then when they cut it down, he was devastated.
Mature trees cut down. The developer says it's all above board. High-powered pitch for high-speed rail.
The state of Michigan, who already have $40 million, $43 million earmarked for the project.
The big ask by these mayors to the upper levels of government. And caught on camera.
And used a fire escape to allow the second suspect into the building.
Suspects wanted for a targeted theft.
CTV News with Stephanie Mazzotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. Stephanie is off tonight. I'm Michelle Maluske. Upset in Amherstburg as residents are watching healthy, mature trees cut to the ground. A property management company on the defensive tonight, saying the work has been fully approved. But that's of little comfort to residents, as CTV's Bob Belichico reports.
5 mature trees that once lined Victoria Gardens in Amherstburg have been cut down, leaving behind bare stumps and growing frustration among some residents who feel the trees were healthy and should have been left alone.
Well, they're supposed to give us 35 days warning over anything over $1,000, according to the condominium authority. They gave us less than a week.
Residents received a notice on June 14th that tree work would be taking place. By Wednesday, residents say several healthy 60-year-old trees had been removed. One of them stood just outside of Jessica Cockrum's backyard. She said it provided shade, flowers, and a daily gathering place for birds her young son loved to feed.
And that's what they did over here. They planted brand new trees because one was also cut over there. So we thought that was going to be the same case, but we haven't heard anything about it.
She hopes the stumps are removed and new trees will be planted in their place. Now, a representative of the Huron Shores Property Management Group told CTV News they follow a process used at all of their properties. The company says recommendations from arborists, engineers, and residents are considered before the property board makes a final decision. No board members were available for comment today. No more tree. All that's left is a tree stump. Residents I spoke with are already missing their shade after a couple of days. They're also worried about the cost of air conditioning in the summer with the sun beating down on their place. But that's not the only cost they're worried about.
We're trying to stop the pattern of being overcharged and hopefully get reimbursed for some of the things that we did not want.
Longtime resident Peter Miles explains improvements to the building's siding and parking lot has been done in recent years, leading to bills of over $4,000 for residents.
They're not doing basic maintenance, and they're doing huge projects like this at our expense.
Miles has launched a petition and says he plans to bring their concerns to the corporation's annual meeting scheduled for July 29th.
I think with this petition, we're going to have a higher turnout than in previous years, but I think some things are going to be changed and some answers demanded of.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
A man is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being struck by a car in Chatham, Kent. Police say it happened yesterday on Longwoods Road. The victim was airlifted to London with what are described as significant injuries. Meantime, a 26-year-old man is facing multiple charges after he allegedly chased several people with a butcher knife, then barricaded himself inside a Windsor home for 5 hours.
So with the police tactical unit, you're under arrest. The residence is surrounded.
Tense moments for sure in the 300 block of McEwen Avenue. Police called here shortly before 7:30 a.m. Thursday. By the time officers arrived, police say the suspect had confined himself inside his residence, refusing to come out. Around 12:30, the suspect attempted to flee, running out the back door, but he was arrested following a brief struggle. A 26-year-old man is facing 6 charges, including assault with a weapon. A damage and cause have now been released following that fire yesterday afternoon. It started around 4:30 on the roof of a commercial business at 6711 Tecumseh Road East near Lausanne. Fire Chief Jamie Waffle says it was an accident caused by roofers working near an HVAC system. Firefighters were able to contain the fire to the roof, but it did cause $400,000 in damage. No one was hurt, but one worker nearby told us what it was like to see the flames and smoke.
It looked like it started on the roof because the whole smoke was on the roof, and it was like so much. Like you can see it's not from the inside. They have sent a message that we will not be able to work today until they check everything because there is like some smoke in our restaurant, and you know we have gas and everything, so safety comes always first.
In our monthly Crime Stoppers report, Melanie Kentner takes a look at a recent spate of break-ins on the east side of the city, where police are asking for help. Melanie.
Yeah, we're at Rio and Park on Riverside Drive. Now, what can you tell us about the recent break-ins in the area?
Well, the Windsor Police Service are investigating a report of a break-and-enter on Saturday, the 30th of May, shortly after 9:30 p.m., where two suspects broke into two apartment units within the 4700 block of Riverside Drive.
And what was stolen?
What was stolen was jewelry, silverware, and clothing.
And what can you tell us about the video that you have?
Well, what we have is a video of one suspect managed to breach or gain access into the restricted area of the apartment building and used a fire escape to allow the second suspect into the building.
What do you know about the suspects? What descriptions do you have?
Well, both suspects appear to be middle-aged. The one suspect is thinner. He has a gray golf shirt, an Adidas hat, and a satchel across the side. The other suspect had a hoodie along with a poncho hat.
What can people do to protect themselves from something like this from happening?
Well, the traditional means of security, such as enhancing the entry or your door, but also not to allow access to anybody within the restricted area of the apartment building. But nowadays, with smart technology, you can make your apartment look like it's occupied by activating lights, televisions, things like that, remotely from your phone, but also with security cameras and videos where now they're relatively inexpensive and they can be operated wirelessly, and even that is a deterrence. Once suspects see those images, they'll move on to the next area to break into.
Some great tips there. And of course, if anybody has information, how can they contact you?
Well, if you want to remain anonymous and if you help police identify any one of these two suspects, you can call us at Crime Stoppers 1-800-22-TIPS or online at catchcrooks.com.
Great. Thanks, Rick. And that's your Crime Stoppers report.
Finding a parking spot at Lakeview Park West Beach can be almost as challenging as finding a place to lay down a towel on a busy summer weekend. The municipality of Lakeshore thinks it has a solution, which rolls out this weekend. Joining us with the story from the beach tonight is our Chris Campbell.
Yes, Michelle, while Lakeview Park West Beach has become one of Lakeshore's most popular summer destinations, many residents say crowds and parking headaches have kept them away on busy weekends. Now, municipal officials are hoping a new free shuttle service can take some of the pressure off while making a day at the beach a little easier.
Beginning Saturday, the free beach bus will shuttle visitors between the Atlas Tube Recreation Center and the waterfront every Saturday, Sunday, and holiday Monday throughout the summer.
You know what? We listen to our residents, and we also have seen a massive increase down this way. You know, we want to make sure that not only the residents close by are safe, they can move in and out of their homes with no issue, but also for our residents outside of Bell River within the municipality of Lakeshore, that they have different options to come and check out our great spaces.
The pilot project is designed to reduce parking pressure while giving officials a chance to gauge demand and gather feedback. For many beachgoers, avoiding the weekend crowds has become routine.
We don't usually come on the weekends because it really does get really busy, so it's generally during the week that we'll come and enjoy it.
Every time we come on the weekend, sometimes there's no parking. So the shuttle bus would be great for, people coming to the beach.
It's going to help the situation for sure.
Even lifelong Bell River residents like Helen Best say the popularity of the waterfront has changed her habits.
It is so busy. The residents of Bell River don't get to use the park at all.
Along with the new shuttle, Lakeshore is increasing bylaw patrols.
We will be out, educating our residents and visitors alike on a parks bylaw and on the parking bylaw.
Focusing on illegal parking, smoking in vaping, barbecues, which are now banned, and motorized vehicles in the park.
It is a beautiful destination, and our job is to make sure we keep it safe for residents and visitors to come and enjoy.
Municipal officials say they'll be tracking ridership and public feedback throughout the summer, with this pilot project helping determine whether or not the new beach bus will become a regular fixture for future beach seasons. Michelle?
All right, thanks so much, Chris. Chris Campbell reporting for us tonight from Lakeshore. And this story also brings us to our question of the day. Do you go to local beaches? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you're following Team Canada in the FIFA World Cup. Out of 700 votes, 67% said no. And speaking of the beach, swimming is not recommended at 5 local beaches this weekend, including Lakeshore. The health unit has released the results of the weekly beach water testing, which show high bacteria levels at Cedar Beach, Cedar Island Beach, Holiday Beach, Lakeshore, Lakeview Park West Beach, and Seacliff Beach. E. coli counts are above 200, which can cause health issues for swimmers. Swimming is getting a green light at Colchester and Point Pelee Northwest beaches. This is the 4th week in a row when swimming has not been recommended at the beach in Bell River, or that it's been closed because of high bacteria counts. The big question, though, is it going to be a good weekend to hit one of those beaches? Let's find out as I'm joined now by CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald with our first look at the weather. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Michelle. Hello, folks. I think, Michelle, that in part the weekend will be pleasant, more so for Father's Day, and more on that a bit later in the show. The satellite radar showing us that 2 systems are nearby. One well to our west, the other one's a little bit further northeast, at least the core, but we are feeling the effects of the wind of the one that's situated over eastern Canada. We'll see a bit of a break. Still gusty tonight through to midnight. The overnight, increasing cloudiness, and tomorrow afternoon, maybe some showers and thunderstorms, but I'm promising a good look and a good looking Father's Day. I'll break it down in just moments. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk. Michelle?
Okay, thanks so much, Gary. A warning to drivers who use the east end of EC Row Expressway where it intersects with Banwell. Banwell Road will be closed between EC Row and the Next Star Plant North entrance, starting Monday at 7 a.m. until June 23rd at 8 o'clock at night. A second closure will follow from Intersection Road to Shields Street until June 26th. Officials say the work is needed to complete a traffic switchover to a new road alignment. Detour routes will be posted along nearby major roads. Monday night's Ford fireworks are expected to draw tens of thousands of people to Windsor's waterfront and downtown core. That's where we find our Travis Fortnum. Travis, you've got all the tips for getting there safely and avoiding headaches.
That's right. We are still a few days away from the big show, but as you can see behind me, preparations all throughout the city are well underway. And as anybody who's been downtown for a fireworks knows, it can be a bit of a zoo, but with proper planning, you can make sure you have nothing but a fun and safe night. One of Windsor's biggest nights of the year is almost here, and with huge crowds expected along the riverfront, officials are urging people to plan ahead.
It is going to be a very busy night downtown, but we're looking forward to it.
Thousands of people flock to the core each year to watch the show, which makes it one of the busiest nights of the summer for Windsor Police.
Fireworks night has always been one of those nights where it's all hands on deck. We have, as I said, all of our patrol officers, specialty units, all officers, auxiliary officers will be out.
Police recommend taking a photo of your children before leaving home and picking a meeting spot in case family members get separated in the crowd. Officers are also reminding people that many downtown streets will close at 6 p.m., with vehicles left in restricted areas subject to ticketing and towing. If you'd rather skip the traffic, Transit Windsor is once again offering free service after 6 p.m., including shuttles between Devonshire Mall and downtown thanks to a partnership with Zehrs.
It's one of our biggest nights of the year downtown, and the fact that the community could come down there on Transit Windsor free of charge, get the kids in there, come downtown, have a great time, enjoy a great show.
And it's not just people who may need a little extra planning. It can be a stressful night for pets, too. Veterinarians at Cornell University say if your dog or cat isn't a fan of fireworks, keep them indoors, close the windows and curtains, and try using a television or radio to help mask some of the noise. They also recommend setting up a quiet space where your pet feels safe. If your pet starts trembling, pacing, hiding, or drooling, those could be signs the fireworks are causing distress. As for everyone else, police say a little preparation can go a long way.
Come on out, make a plan well ahead of time, and enjoy the fireworks.
Now, shuttle service and most road closures go into effect at 6 o'clock Monday night. And the fireworks show starts about 9:55 p.m. Michelle.
All right, thanks so much for this, Travis. Travis Fortnum reporting on Monday's Fireworks Night Show. Meantime, mayors across southwestern Ontario and state leaders from Michigan are calling on the Canadian federal government to fund a high-performance Via Rail system between Windsor and Toronto. CTV's Daryl Newcomb brings us the details.
Passenger rail service in southwestern Ontario as a national infrastructure priority.
London Mayor Josh Morgan, flanked by mayors from across southwestern Ontario and a delegation from Michigan's state government. The group calling on the Canadian federal government to improve Via Rail service between Toronto and Windsor, highlighting an opportunity to link higher-speed passenger rail upgrades between Chicago and Detroit with the Canadian government's plan to build the Alto high-speed rail line between Toronto and Quebec City.
The current rolling stock that Via has now, which can travel at 200 kilometers per hour, but is not reaching that capacity because of issues with train signals, train crossings, and the fact that freight does have priority on that rail line.
The group is calling on the Canadian government to fund what it calls international high-performance rail in its next budget, which would require track improvements as well as a border security rail facility in Windsor.
The state of Michigan, who already have $40 million, $43 million earmarked for the project, they're good to go, provided our federal government gives the green light and unlocks $46 million on our side.
The delegation from Michigan included a representative from the Democratic governor's office as well as a Republican state senator.
Regardless of you're a Republican or Democrat, you can come together on an issue like this. It's a multiplier factor. And just open that corridor up, get that opportunity in Windsor, and then we could go from there.
The group also wants improved passenger rail prioritization with freight trains.
You can't have prioritization of passenger rail unless you prioritize it legislatively or actually build some of the infrastructure to allow the passenger trains to get by the freight trains.
This political push from both sides of the border being held in London, both the geographic center of southwestern Ontario and also home to the fourth busiest Via station in Canada. Decades of politicians lobbying for better passenger rail service across southwestern Ontario have always eventually seen their efforts derailed. However, Morgan believes this time is different.
What we have different here is a broad-based coalition that is different than we've seen before, with federal government and governments on the other side of the border already committing significant number of dollars to segments of rail improvement projects.
Let's get the rust off the rust belt, get these rails nice and shiny, and let's just get this thing going, because the next generation is going to need it and want it.
Other municipalities participating include Toronto, Oakville, Woodstock, and Chatham-Kent. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A petition signed by more than 250 people was not enough to sway Essex County Council to change the structure of the green bin program. The petition presented to Council Wednesday night suggested having an option for residents to opt out, citing concerns from seniors, low-income households, and residents who are already composting at home. Council accepted the petition will not make any changes. In March, County Council voted to use user fees to pay for the program. The estimated 2026 charges are about $186 for residents in Essex, just under $188 for those living in Lakeshore and LaSalle. Tecumseh homeowners are going to be charged almost $184. The fees cover the costs of collection and processing, plus contractual obligations and program administration. Amherstburg, Kingsville, and Leamington will begin receiving service this fall. Last night, it was the town of Tecumseh's turn, meanwhile, to consider reducing development charges. As we've been reporting all week, municipalities can apply for federal and provincial funding to help spur housing development. The catch is each municipality must agree to cut development charges by 30 to 50%, but taxpayers could be on the hook if the development doesn't materialize. And there's no promise the savings will be passed along to the consumer. Tecumseh has decided to apply for the funding, and if they're approved, they've asked administration to do a full financial overview before they proceed with this. So far this week, Windsor, Essex, Kingsville, Lakeshore, and LaSalle all decided to apply for funding. Amherstburg is declining, and Leamington has yet to debate the issue. Canadian soccer fans may have a new outlook on the team's prospects after last night's blowout win against Qatar. It was a game of many firsts. First World Cup win for Team Canada, the first hat trick in World Cup history, and what was once thought improbable, the first time Canada has been positioned to enter the knockout round. Here's CTV's Heather Wright on the squad's momentous rise.
One day after the biggest day in the history of Canadian men's soccer, the team took to the training pitch at the University of British Columbia. The mood, bittersweet. A blowout 6-0 win over Qatar, which came with the loss of star Ismail Kone, who broke his leg in yesterday's match.
I was really proud of the team to feel the emotion, but also stay focused on the task at hand.
The task at hand was to win, which the team did decisively.
In World Cup history, there's never been such a dominant performance. That's the truth. And so I think our team will take a lot of confidence from that.
It's the first World Cup win ever for the men's team in only its third appearance. Up until this year, the Canadian men had never earned a World Cup point, a sign of how far the program has come.
This team checked a lot of boxes in the past couple of years, and the way and the fashion that we did was something that we're very proud.
Following the game, the Prime Minister visited the team's dressing room, praising their character.
But you showed a level of character that some people never achieve in their life.
A question going into this tournament, is Canada now a footballing nation? Based on the crowd yesterday and the result on the field, the answer seems to be an emphatic yes.
It was a tremendous sign. We don't have to hold our breath anymore or bite our nails. We're there.
From the outset, the goal of this team has been to win their group, which would allow them to remain in Vancouver for the first match of the knockout stage. To do that, they need at least a draw against Switzerland, a game that goes Wednesday in Vancouver. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
And cheering for the red and white was dozens of supportive fans right here in Windsor. Hundreds of fans gathering outside Windsor's City Hall to take in last night's action. Local fans, too, are feeling good about Canada's chance to move on.
I'm hoping so. I really want them to win.
I think we have a better chance.
I can't handle it. I keep checking my watch. My heart rate keeps going up higher and higher. Every time they get close to a goal, I panic.
The Amherstburg Rib Fest is also underway in the heart of the downtown core, with ribbers and food vendors serving the lunchtime crowd today. People gathered for an early sample of slow-cooked ribs and other event favorites from award-winning vendors. Ramsey Street between Richmond and Murray is closed down this weekend, with the parking lot behind Richmond businesses turned into an entertainment venue. The event is running alongside open-air weekends, showcasing local businesses.
What's your favorite type of rib sauce? The dinosaur?
Dinosaur.
The dinosaur rib sauce, yeah.
How exciting is it to have it here in Amherstburg every year?
You know, it's great. It brings the community together. It brings more people to Amherstburg. It's such a beautiful town, and we love to see people come together in events like this for sure. Yeah.
Massive skills gap. When we return, why Ontario needs more than 1 million university graduates in the next decade. Some new numbers show that a luxury tax on expensive cars, yachts, and even private jets yielded more than $900 million for federal coffers before it was scaled back over concerns about its impact on manufacturers. Figures obtained by the Canada Revenue Agency show that the program brought in more than $913 million between the fall of 2022 and March of 25. The Liberal government ended the tax on aircraft and boats last fall, leaving it in place on luxury vehicles. Backers of the tax say the financial windfall vindicates the full tax and shows that wealthy Canadians are still willing to spend on big-ticket items in spite of the higher price tag. A new report says Ontario needs more than 1 million university graduates over the next decade if it wants to keep up with labour market demands. The report on behalf of the Council of Ontario Universities. It found the number of graduates that will be needed to fill job openings in careers that typically prefer a university education is roughly 56,000. The three fields with the greatest demand are STEM-related jobs, with those industries needing more than 200,000 graduates over the next decade. The owner of Toys R Us has been buying up some of the company's assets directly. Now a new court filing shows it's doing that so it can try and keep the beleaguered brand afloat. This from the Canadian Press, whose journalists have seen court documents filed on behalf of owner Putnam Investments. Toys R Us has been in creditor protection since February. A letter from the parent company's lawyer says his client has a license to keep using the name Toys R Us through at least January of next year. At that point, the letter says the plan is to request an extension of that license or to rebrand Toys R Us with a new name. Outgoing Apple CEO Tim Cook says the tech company's products will have to become more expensive at some point, thanks to surging demand for memory chips. Cook says the higher prices were inevitable as the rapid build-out of artificial intelligence data centers has sent the cost of memory chips and RAM skyrocketing. Those components are also part of nearly all electronic devices today. The Apple CEO didn't specify which of his company's products might be impacted or when. Canada's main stock index edged lower as the price of gold fell. In Toronto, the TSX fell 112 points, and American stock and commodity markets are closed for the Juneteenth holiday. On currency markets, the Canadian dollar lost 1/5 of a cent.
It looks like Canada, this collective of clouds. Thank you, Anthony V, for sending in this image. We'll talk weekend weather next.
What a beautiful day out there it was today. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me again for an extended look at the weather, including, of course, the very important Sunday Father's Day forecast. Hi, Gary.
You're right about that. Hi, Michelle. We are talking about sunshine. I'm going to guarantee that Sunday is a pleasant day. We'll get that out of the way. Tomorrow, though, Saturday, a bit of a different story. And last night was gorgeous. It was sort of a repeat performance, breezy through the afternoon, cumulus cloud. Fair weather cumulus today. Lovely in terms of temperatures. 25 is seasonal for this time of the year. Our average high is now just, let's see, 26? Oh, 25.9. So 1/10 of a degree shy of 26. Air quality was good, so nothing to report there. And temperatures are still in the low 20s for this early evening. That bodes well for a great night out, perhaps attending Carousel of the Nations, right? Always a treat. Great event. Windy tonight, and then the winds die down through the overnight, only to pick up again tomorrow morning. So here's what's at play. We have some warm energy still circulating through the Midwestern tier. Stateside, it is a very warm day. Much of the prairies, though, has cooled off. Upper teens now, low 20s, similar in the lower Great Lakes region where we are. Two systems squeezing together. We will likely see from the upper Midwest, Wisconsin, certainly the state of Minnesota. That location right now is going to provide the weather for us tomorrow afternoon. It's going to work its way from west to east, so it's still got a ways to go to get here. But when it does, tomorrow morning, scattered shower potential late morning, 10, 11. Then I think by about 4 to 5 p.m., we'll see some scattered showers near us. There's a good chance the bulk of this moisture will, in fact, lie a little bit further east of Chatham-Kent, headed towards our friends in London, towards Woodstock. Again, it's not a huge event. Some areas will just see dark cloud over the horizon, not much to see. Breezy tonight. Westerlies sustained at 30K, down to 17 degrees by midnight. Take a look at our inner carousel 7-day forecast tomorrow. Windy in the afternoon with potential of scattered showers, 25. Fair weather day for Father's Day, 24. And then an average temperature about 24 next week. But we are rainy Monday and through the midweek. That's a look at your weather.
A viral social media trend involving microwaved squishy toys is raising serious safety concerns after a 13-year-old girl suffered a second-degree burn. Amelia Schwann says she heated the toy after seeing a video online suggesting it would make it softer. She says the toy felt warm on the outside but exploded when she squeezed it, spraying hot gel onto her chest. Her mother says the substance stuck to Emily's skin and clothing, causing skin to peel away. The burn will require months to heal, and Schwann will have to keep it covered and avoid sun exposure. Experts are warning parents and children not to attempt the trend, saying the toys can become dangerously hot inside. A new clinical trial is challenging the belief that omega-3 supplements can help prevent Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Researchers at the University of Southern California found that fish oil and algae-based supplements did not improve memory, cognition, or brain cell loss, even when omega-3 levels increased in the brain. Experts say omega-3s remain important for brain health, but work best as part of a healthy lifestyle that includes regular exercise, quality sleep, stress management, and a diet rich in fish, nuts, and seeds. The findings suggest supplements alone may not be enough to protect against cognitive decline. Another study is raising questions about workplace activity during early pregnancy. Researchers in Denmark found that women who spent more time walking, standing, or bending forward during the first 4 months of a pregnancy faced a higher risk of miscarriage. The study linked each additional hour of forward bending to a 36% increase in risk. Experts stress the research does not prove cause and effect, but they say the findings highlight the need for clearer workplace guidelines for pregnant employees. Medical experts also note that miscarriage affects about 15% of pregnancies and can have a significant emotional impact on families. Spotted in Windsor, still ahead, why the iconic Canadian snowbirds made a pit stop in the Rose City.
Sandy McDonald joins me again as we look to the green pastures and we find the honeysuckle in two different forms And it's significant for a number of reasons. Talk to us about this interesting species.
It's true, and really, honeysuckle has been grown in the garden for a number of years, both the climbing Japanese honeysuckle and also the bush form of honeysuckle. Unfortunately, they got away from us, so they have become somewhat invasive. So unfortunately, we can't really recommend to plant the Japanese honeysuckle or the bush honeysuckle any longer. So we do have a couple of native honeysuckles as well. So for those of our gardeners who want to put a native honeysuckle in, please search those out and choose those over the introduced types. However, interesting too, because all of them are great for pollinators. So even though I guess we could use that as an excuse for keeping one, almost all pollinators do like honeysuckle very much. They usually provide quite a bit of nectar and also for scent. Japanese climbing honeysuckle has a very beautiful fragrance. However, they got away from us.
Are there any concerns with toxicity with this particular plant?
So some of the bush honeysuckles in particular have pretty attractive fruit, often orange to reddish colored, even to sort of a burgundy color. So for humans, not so good. Not deathly poisonous, but not very tasty either, so you're not likely to eat many of them. But again, stomach upset, vomiting, diarrhea. However, birds like them, and it is a little unfortunate. Many of our songbirds, they will fill up on the fruit of bush honeysuckle before winter, which is not good because they're not a good nutritious source for them, and we sort of consider it as junk food for some of our feathered friends.
Junk food, I didn't realize that actually existed in Mother Nature per se, but it does, and we know junk food very well. Sandy McDonald, thank you as always for giving us a good lesson about what is green and flourishing in our neck of the woods here on Get Gardening. We'll see you next week.
A rare sighting in South Windsor Thursday. Yes, those are the snowbirds. The performance crew landed at YQG around 1:30 Thursday, inbound from Barrie. After refueling, the crew took off just before 4 o'clock, headed for a show in Columbus, Ohio. Thanks to Larry Melhot for sending us this great video. The quintessential Canadian retailer Zellers is coming back. With a sneak peek at the Toronto and Edmonton stores, here's CTV's John Vanavalli-Rao.
Whether posing with Zeddy the Bear or lining up for a new take on the Zellers Diner featuring the classic Big Zed burger.
Ooh, I like Zellers. I miss Zellers long time. Ooh.
Judging from the crowds at the checkout counter, shoppers are welcoming Zellers' return to Ontario, the province where it was born.
There was always somewhere where I'd go on the weekends to look for good stuff, and it was sad when they left. So I'm quite happy that they're back.
This is the second store to open as part of the brand's latest comeback, which began last year in Edmonton.
Who gives you more, Zellers or the competition?
Of course, millions of Canadians remember shopping at Zellers, a retailer that started almost a century ago. But in 2013, the stores largely disappeared. Hudson's Bay tried to revive the brand inside its own locations, but that effort failed when the Bay itself collapsed. Now Zellers is back under new owners who believe shoppers will like what they see amid an affordability crisis.
Value never goes out of style, so that's very important to note. We feel that right now is a great time for bringing Zellers back.
The retailer are offering up T-shirts for as low as $10, and experts say its lower price point could appeal to struggling families.
It is part of a trend of a gravitation toward value. So if you look at folks like Dollarama, Giant Tiger, Costco, Walmart, they've all done really well being value players.
Zellers' new owners say they hope to open stores across the country. Some analysts think it could fill a need as the trade dispute with the U.S. continues.
We really need a Canadian player in the discount end of the market to give some consumers choice in terms of where they're buying and whether or not they're buying Canadian.
And the nostalgia, for now at least, proving popular.
Meanwhile, the next new Zellers is slated to open in Windsor, Ontario next month. John Vanavalli-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
And it's almost time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. And Mel, when it comes to fireworks night, there is something that you need to not bring with you.
Yes, it's a popular gadget and one that could turn your night at the waterfront into a costly mistake. Those details straight ahead.
Emmy award-winning writer and the host of NBC's Late Night with Seth Meyers is coming to Windsor July 11th. Enter at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Seth Meyers at Caesars Windsor plus a $200 gift card.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Grab your rods and head down to Dieppe Park for the annual Windsor Police Association Cops and Kids Fishing Derby this Sunday. See you next time on Our Community.
So, Melanie, you have a pro tip for us tonight from police about Monday's fireworks show.
That's right, and it's leave the drone at home. That's straight from Windsor Police, who say this year they're going to be super strict about the rules prohibiting them, and it could cost you. Drones have become a common sight at large events, and people are always trying to find creative ways to capture the fireworks. But police say they aren't welcome over the waterfront during Monday night's show. In fact, the airspace is restricted. Anyone who brings a drone could find their night ending early, and it could be expensive. Now, everything you need to know before you go on Monday is all online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And also there on our website, our viewers will find a story about a Bell River senior who's been charged.
Yes, so Essex County OPP say a 72-year-old man is facing impaired driving charges following a traffic complaint on County Road 22 near Commercial Boulevard around 2 p.m. yesterday. The Bell River man received a 90-day license suspension and a 7-day vehicle impoundment. And in our social spotlight, the Great Beaver Quest is underway.
Let's go.
Love this. These two friends, Carlos and Kojo, are looking for beaver statues, each representing the countries competing in the World Cup. It took them about 20 minutes to find 5 statues, and there are 51 of them in total across Toronto for people to discover, and each has been uniquely hand-painted by a local artist. How cool, Michelle?
That looks like a lot of fun, and this files under the everything's a competition. I would love to do this challenge and see how fast I can find them all.
I'll race you.
Yeah, it sounds, yeah, right. It'd be a good way to get a good run in.
Yeah.
We might be onto something there, Mare. And we're always looking for great video like that for Melanie's trending segment.
That's right. You can email it to newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Thank you, Melanie. And that's what's happening now. A plane with no fuel and less noise. When we return, how a new electric aircraft is giving passengers a glimpse of the future.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Yes, it was a beautiful last couple of days, Gary. And I just want to circle back. Did I hear that correctly? Did you guarantee pleasant weather on Father's Day? I love that.
Michelle, I'm like 30 feet behind you. I know you heard me.
I love that you put out a guarantee.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me, what is the weather on Sunday then? I might get you to sign it.
Yeah.
So what does the weather look like on Sunday?
Well, I think a mixture of sun and cloud. I think sunny for the most part, especially in the morning, and a bit breezy, but not nearly as problematic as we've experienced the last couple of days. Tomorrow is the day where we're likely to see active weather, but a 60% chance of an occurrence or more. Showers and/or thunderstorms on a windy Saturday afternoon into the evening, and then fair weather. Yeah, mark it down. You don't see any rainfall icons anywhere on that Sunday, do you?
I don't.
Well,
there is
guarantee.
A cloud, but you got to put
fair
one
weather
in.
Clouds today, right?
I love it. I'm very, very pleased with that weather forecast. Thank you so much, Gary. All right, finally tonight for us. One of the few electric planes in Canada is now offering flights to anyone who's interested. CTV's Krista Simpson spoke with those who have taken to the skies.
This is the east central part of Kitchener, as seen from the perspective of a passenger in an all-electric airplane.
It's an incredible experience. It's definitely something that's different than what we do every day.
This Velis Electro is one of 2 at the Waterloo Wellington Flight Centre. One is used for research with the Waterloo Institute for Sustainable Aeronautics at the University of Waterloo. The other is now available for members of the public to take a scenic flight. thanks to regulatory changes made last year by the federal government.
Before, we could only tell you about it, and our research assistants, the research team, of course, had the experience, but now it's open for any enthusiast who says, I really wonder what is it like to have a quieter airplane.
The aircraft arrived in the region in 2022 and has undergone extensive testing since.
Everything that we've done showed that the plane is safe, the plane is reliable.
Powered by 2 batteries, it can carry about 180 kilograms or about 400 pounds in passenger weight, offering a chance for members of the public to try it.
Definitely a very small airplane, nice and tightly packed, meant to be aerodynamic.
Aidan Albrechtas says many who go up in it want to see their house or university campus.
Oftentimes you can see the Toronto skyline as well, down to Lake Ontario towards Hamilton. So great visibility out there. See a lot more than you think.
The experience different from other flights.
There is still some noise, but less noise. And the fact that the windows are super clear and you can see so much out of them really brings up the experience for me.
A flight costs about $267 plus tax and can be booked through the Flight Centre's website.
We'll be flying all summer into the late fall. The only thing that will stop us, of course, is weather.
This is the beginning of the electric aviation age.
In anticipation of a future where electric planes are the norm, not the exception. Krista Simpson, CTV News, Breslau.
What a neat idea.
I think it's phenomenal. We're going to have plug-in airplanes in 100 years. Oh, who knows, 100 years, 50 years in our backyards?
How neat is that?
Hovercraft?
I don't know. I wonder if it's a little unnerving given how quiet it's going to be.
That's a good point.
But what a neat story. I love it. All right. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor on both sides of the camera, thank you so much for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
Guaranteed, folks.
For sure.